For more than 2,000 years, China was guided by the ancient teacher and moral philosopher Confucius. For hundreds of years, this Confucian temple and university in Beijing was at the heart of a national system that trained scholar officials who ran the imperial state. Early communist revolutionaries rejected the thought of Confucius as part of China's feudal past, but Chinese and Western scholars say the ancient sage is being rehabilitated. Daniel Bell teaches political philosophy at Tsinghua University in Beijing.
Throughout most of the 20th century, China felt itself weak and vulnerable, and they blamed their own traditions for their problems, and they looked to the West, whether it was Marxism or liberalism, for inspiration. They still look to the West to a certain extent, but more and more now they're looking at their own traditions.
Confucius taught that the well-run state is based on personal rules of conduct, on virtues like loyalty, and on learning, accomplishment, and merit. Bell says that for the ancient sage, social life begins with relationships in the family.
And you're supposed to learn about morality through the family, and then you extend morality outside to non-family members, first to the nation, and it reaches eventually to the whole world.
He says China's early communist leaders rejected Confucianism and turned to a rival ancient system known as legalism, which elevates the role of the government and embraces force as a means of control. They were not the first to do that. The first emperor of a unified China rejected Confucian learning more than 2,000 years ago, but Confucianism soon revived with its softer approach to power. Bell says that, like the first emperor, the early communists struggled to consolidate their power over the nation.
But once the country becomes stronger, less vulnerable to foreign bullying, and more self-confident, then I think these soft, the kind of Confucian ways of soft power can begin to reassert themselves, just as they did 2,000 years ago. I think this have a similar development now, where there won't be this very harsh kind of authoritarian ways of governing, which owes much more to legalism than to Confucianism.
Bell sees renewed interest in the Confucian tradition at universities, among government leaders and the Chinese people. He says the Beijing Olympics are inspired in part by Confucian ideals of friendship and harmony, and that the opening ceremony cited Confucian sayings. He welcomes that return to tradition, but he says Confucian writings also say that harmony does not demand conformity, and that he would like to hear more about that part of the tradition. Yet he is encouraged by China's rediscovery of its past, which he says will serve the country well as it shapes new institutions for its future. Mike O'Sullivan, VOA News, Beijing.